Let's get an example about forward contracts. Sigma Limited, a gold manufacturer, goes long in a forward contract with an exercise price of $500 per ounce, 400 ounces, only to be exercised in 6 months. Calculate the gain or loss in the following cases. The first case is the market gold price after 6 months is $700 per ounce. So let's look at the question here. They said that Sigma Limited is a gold manufacturer, which means they manufacture gold. So this means that they use gold as a raw material, such as a jewelry shop. They goes long. What do you mean by the word long? Long position, it means that they buy. Therefore, look at the relationship before you solve any question. So what do you mean by buy? It means that in the future, if the price increase, you'll make a gain or loss, you will make a gain. In the future, if the price decrease, you'll make a gain or loss, you'll make a loss. So what's the relationship between price and gain? It's a positive relationship. Therefore, if we'd like to draw it, we'll draw it as upward slope or downward slope? Upward slope. Therefore, in these questions, we said that what is the contract price, what is the exercise price or strike price? 500. In the future, at the expiry date or maturity date, after 6 months, what will be the price? 700. So I know that the price will increase to 700. So this means that to make a gain or loss, we make a gain. Therefore, what will be our formula for gain or loss for long position or the buyer? It will be our underlying price, which is the price prevailing in the market in the future at maturity date or expiration date, minus the contract price or exercise price or strike price. This will give you gain or loss per unit, multiplied by quantity to get the total gain or loss. So we know that the market price will be 700, minus contract price it will be 500. So this will give us a gain or loss per unit of 200 per unit. What will be our total gain or loss multiplied by the quantity? What is the quantity? 100 ounces. So 200 times 100, it will give you 20,000. So this means that in this scenario, we'll make a gain of 20,000. The second part of the question is, if the market gold price after 6 months is 400. So we know that our contract price is 500, but the market price prevailing in the future at maturity date is lower, 400. Therefore, for a long position, for a buyer, we make a gain or loss, we make a loss. We will use exactly the same formula. So the formula is gain or loss is equal to the underlying price in the market in the future minus contract price. This will give you gain or loss per unit times quantity to get total gain or loss. So we'll get here 400, the market price in the future, minus contract price 500. So 400 minus 500, it will give us negative 100 per unit. It means that we make a loss of $100 per unit. What will be our total loss multiplied by the quantity of 100? So negative 100 times 100, it will give us negative 10,000. So this means that in this scenario, at a lower price than the contract price, we will make a loss of 10,000. The next part of the question is, draw the long position in the forward contract based on the two scenarios. So we know that if we are going to draw it, it will be upward slope because we have a positive relationship between price and gain. Therefore, we will put here on our x-axis the underlying price. On our y-axis, the point of intersection here is 0. Above 0 is a gain, below 0 is a loss. So the point of intersection is always our contract price, our K. Our contract price is 500. So what was the two scenarios? The first scenario is we have a higher price at 700. So at 700, what will happen? We go up till we intersect with our curve, then we go horizontally. So this will make a gain of $200 per unit. Why? Because here we have long position, which means you buy. But at a lower price, we know that you'll make a loss. So if the price is below the contract price, for example, 400, which is our second scenario, we will go down till we intersect with our curve, and then we go horizontally. So this will give us a loss of $100 per unit. So usually you say that a loss of $100, or you will say that you have a gain equal negative 100. The next part of the question, Sigma Limited is considered arbitrager, hedger, speculator, or trader. So let's read the case study again. Sigma Limited is a gold manufacturer. So what do we mean by gold manufacturer? They manufacture gold. Consequently, Gold is their raw material and they are afraid of an increase in the price in the future. Therefore, since they have an existing risk level, they enter the derivatives market in order to minimize or eliminate this risk level. Consequently, this is considered hedger. The next part of the question is, forward contracts are traded in exchange over the counter. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Neither 1 nor 2 are correct. We know that forward contracts are considered private contracts. What I mean by private contracts? Any two persons can sign a contract privately. So this means that the public doesn't know about it. It's not supervised by regulators. Therefore, it will be traded in over the counter, OTC. Therefore, the correct answer will be over the counter. The next part of the question is, forward contracts are binding contracts and non-binding contracts. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Neither 1 nor 2 are correct. We know that forward contracts are considered binding contracts. What do I mean by binding? It means that either you make a gain or loss, you must exercise the contract in the future. This is what I mean by binding. Therefore, forward contracts are always binding contracts.